everyone, welcome back to my channel. So I'm going to start off by using the Boots Expert Sensitive Gentle and Refreshing Toner to remove all of my makeup that wasn't removed with my face wash, and you'd be surprised how much product comes out because it's pretty dirty. And then I'm using the L'Oreal Revitalift Miracle Blur to ensure that my pores are invisible and make my skin a smooth surface for my foundation. Now I'm using the Makeup Forever HD foundation, and I'm honestly not a really big fan of this because it makes my skin drier than what it already is, and it's difficult to blend and it just doesn't have full coverage, but it was expensive, so I'm trying to use it up. And then I'm just combing out my brows with my little spoolie, and I'm going to apply the e.l.f. eyebrow kit in the color Brunette, I think it is. I'm not too sure. If you know the name, you can correct me down below. And I'm so in love with this product. It's seriously amazing. It looks so natural, it's super affordable, and it keeps my eyebrows in place all day long, which I am a big fan of because my eyebrows like to do whatever they want. And then just make sure you brush them out to get rid of any harsh lines, make it look natural. Then I'm using this NYX eyeshadow base, and it's just skin color, and I want to put this on to even out my skin tone on the lids and to make my eyebrows stay on all day and be crease free. Then I'm using a matte cream shade from the Urban Decay Naked Basics palette, and this is going to even out my eyelids and set the cream shadow that we just put on. And then I'm using this peachy light pink shade, and I'm applying that all over my lids to start building up the color. Since we're going to be using really intense colors, I really want them to show up. Then I just took a more orangey light color and I started putting that on my outer crease. Then I took this Coastal Scents eyeshadow and tangerine tint and started blending it outwards. And we're going to be applying a little bit more on the outer crease and putting a little less on the inner crease because I want it to be very gradient. Then I began to apply like a pinky tangerine shade on my outer lids, and I started to build that up just to create that gradient effect I keep talking about. And then with all the colors I've already used, I'm taking the residue on my brush and applying that on my lower lash line to start building it up as well. And then with a small liner brush, I am creating a sharp wing effect, and I'm going to be using that darker pink shade and applying that on the lower lash line. And we're still building up the lower lash line with some of the colors we've used. And now blend the crease only. You don't want to blend anything on the lid because you want to keep that gradient effect from lighter to darker on the lid. But on the crease, it doesn't matter, you just want it to look smoked out and blended. And just keep touching up your lower lash line for some dimension. Then I just kept going back with the colors I've already used to touch up the lids, and then I took a big fluffy crease brush to start blending it. Then I took a Maybelline Color Tattoo. It's one of their pigments in the color Improper Copper, and I used this rather than a brown shade because I didn't want it to look muddy, so the coppery color complemented the orange really well. And then I just started blending that out with a more dense and tapered crease brush. Now I'm using the L'Oreal Voluminous Eye Kohl pencil. I'm not too sure what the name is, but I'll put it down below. And I'm lining my upper lash line, and I'm not using a liquid or gel liner because I want it to look smoldered out and kind of faded. But this is really nice because it's black, so it'll still keep the true color and not make it look gray or anything. And then with a smudge brush, I went ahead and I started smudging the upper lash line. Then I went in and colored my upper and lower lash line with the black eyeliner. Then I went back with my little brush and I started filling in the colors I had used already to make sure that the colors stay vibrant, because the black liner kind of smudges out a little bit, so you don't want it to look dark or muddy or anything like that. Then using my Maybelline Big Eyes Falsy Lashes Mascara, I don't know the name for that either, I'll list it down below. I'm using the bigger one for my upper lash line and the smaller one, which is meant for the lower lash line, and applying it there. Then with a flat shader brush, I'm going ahead and applying a matte cream shade to clean up the look a little bit. Then I took my MAC Pro Longwear Concealer and I applied that under my eyes. And I also applied it on other areas where I have some redness or some imperfections. And that's what I like so much about this concealer, is that you can use it under your eyelids and for any imperfections. Then I took my Too Faced Chocolate Soleil bronzer and contoured sort of my cheekbones because, I don't know, I just wanted to contour. And then I used this really cool stick cream blush by Be a Bombshell. I got this in my Ipsy bag for the month of December, I believe, and I really like it. When you apply it, it's smooth and creamy, but then once you start blending it out, it gets kind of powdery, so you have to blend it quick. And then I just took my brush and I started blending that out, and a little bit of the bigger brush that I applied the bronzer with to smooth out the blush and not make it look so bright. Then I took this Revlon lip butter in Papaya, and I thought this lip butter complemented the look really well and made it look nice and clean. And that is the completed look. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye! Say hi.